Hey everybody, welcome back to another Nature's Always Right episode. Today we got a really exciting one. I'm sitting down with my buddy Sam of Vinder, which is this amazing app where we can actually sell vegetables to customers. So I wanted to just introduce Sam and then, tell us a little bit about Vinder and about your amazing app.
Thanks. So Vinder is actually like an online farmers market. It's a neighbor-made farmers market that allows home gardeners and small producers to sell direct with their neighbors. And our mission is to create a neighbor-made grocery store that holds no inventory, has no delivery vehicles, and is owned by the very people that use it. Essentially, we're like a high-tech food co-op.
Wow, that is so cool. I'm really excited about this concept, and I've actually already downloaded the app and I'm starting to use it. It's very easy to use. You can take pictures to the app, upload the description and the price. You can even input delivery fees, pickup locations. So it's very easy to use, and you can do a lot with it. So I'm excited to see all the different new features that are coming to it as well.
It's free to sign up and free to sell. So we don't charge our farmers or our sellers a dime. The way we make money is by charging the buyer a small service fee upon checkout. And right now, delivery is handled between users. Customers can pick up the order themselves and meet the farmer like Steven.
Yeah.
And they can pick it up at farmers markets, which allows them to pre-order their food right from their bed so they don't have to wake up really early to get to the farmers market when it opens.
Yeah,
you can show up around like noon and know that your products are going to be there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have a lot of customers that just because of work or whatever, they can't make it to the market in time, and then I've sold out of certain products. So it's a cool way that you could pre-order certain things through the app. And the farmers market even still gets their cut through the sales, which is fantastic. So what I love about your app is that it's so supportive of the whole agricultural industry. It's supporting mainly the farmers, right? They get to sell their product with no service fee to them. We get the price that we want, which is so fantastic, I think. It's also being supportive of the markets that are already available, such as farmers markets, or we can use this app as part of a CSA model as well. Who knows where it's going to go next? So it's really exciting.
Our whole focus is on the communities themselves, and that's kind of how it started. I originally started Vinder back in 2016. I got the idea after attending a town hall meeting in a small town called Port Townsend, Washington. It's 10,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Average age is 57. There's probably more deer than actual people. And what I found at that town hall meeting was that the biggest problem was access to the local produce. People work about 2 jobs to make ends meet. And they've got farmers markets, right? But they're only offered 2 days a week. Wednesdays from 12 to 4 and Saturdays from 8 to 2. Not the most convenient times. And so people don't always have the ability to get to them to buy from their local producers.
Yeah.
There's a co-op, but limited hours and prices can be kind of expensive. So most people were going to Safeway, the big box store, because it's convenient, right? It's right down the street. It's open 24 hours and it's cheap.
Right.
But the downside is you don't know who the farmer is. You don't know where the farm is.
Yeah. How old it is.
You don't know how old it is. You don't know what's going into the soil. If you ask a produce manager at Safeway, hey, do you know where your apples come from?
Yeah.
They're not going to know, right?
Yeah.
They might know the country,
Yeah.
but they're not going to know the city or the farmer or what's going into it.
Or the methods, which are so important to know.
Yes, because what goes into the soil that goes into the crop, right, to produce that fruit that you then ingest, that's what's going into you.
Yeah. So that's what's really cool. The Vinder app is going to open up really direct to consumer sales so that our customers can really get to know us, just like at the farmers market. So it's a way of finding hyper-local customers for us.
Yeah.
So it's another great sales avenue, and technology has made it available.
And it's not just for produce. You can do value-added goods like pickles. You can do home-baked breads, jams, honeys, eggs. It's incredible. It's an entirely neighbor-made grocery store.
Wow, that's a cool way to think about it. The neighbor grocery store. I've got my eggs up on there right now, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah. As farmers, we need as many little streams of sale as we can possibly get. This is going to make it easy for us because, you connect your bank account to it. So any money that you make just directly deposits there, kind of like, yeah.
Or a debit card.
Or even a debit card, yeah. That's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, when we originally started, I had left that town hall meeting, and this was kind of on my mind, this problem that the town was having. And I walked home from the meeting, and I saw these apples growing in front yards and trees in front yards, and they were all over the ground.
Yeah.
And I was like, why can't we just buy from our neighbors?
Yeah.
To me, that sounded logical. You know, there seems to be this surplus. Why can't I just buy from this guy? So I walked up to his door and I knocked, and I said, hey, my name is Sam. I walked by, I happened to see you got apples. Have you ever thought about selling them? And he said, the hell are you doing in my yard? I was like, oh man, all right. And at the time, I was working behind the desk at a gym, filling water bottles, folding towels, teaching fitness classes. And I thought, you know, if I can get someone to buy your apples, would you be willing to sell them? And he's like, yeah, sure. They just fall on the ground. You know, they're going to waste. And so every time someone walked by that front desk, I said, hey, would you like to buy some apples? Until somebody said yes. And then I showed up with cash to my neighbor, paid for the apples, delivered on bicycle to that end customer. And over 3 months, that's all I did. I knocked on my neighbor's doors, door to door, 6 to 8 hours a day, asking if I could sell tomatoes, kale, apples, whatever they would allow me to sell. And delivered on my bicycle about a little over 300 pounds of produce.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, connecting these neighbors and making a secondary kind of side income for these neighbors. And from there, learned about, you know, the negatives of, not really the negatives, but the problems and challenges of taking your backyard produce and redistributing it into the community. Because the channels, there aren't very many of them. You have pretty much just farmers markets, or if you're selling of like mass quantities, you could sell to restaurants, but primarily it's farmers markets or some roadside stand. And that could be a heavy burden as far as monetary costs to set up at a farmer's market, the time it takes to set up at a farmer's market. And if you've got just a couple pounds of tomatoes, you know, or a couple pounds of apples, you're not going to take the time.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
And then we built a website around that, and people started creating profiles. They started signing up and listing products. And we had people going onto the website and buying direct from their neighbor and getting to meet their neighbors. For an example, Kelsey had bought from this guy, Chris. Kelsey Mitchell had bought from this guy, Chris, some carrots and onions. And he lived about half a mile from her. And so she just walked down the street to go, because it's 10 minutes, walked down 10 minutes to go pick up her order. And Chris hadn't harvested yet. And said, hey, you know, I haven't had time to harvest. Would you like to see where your stuff's being grown?
Wow.
And she'd grown up in the city and had moved out to this rural town and had never seen carrots growing before. And so for the first time in her life, she got to see where her carrots are being grown. And Chris said, you know what? Go ahead and reach in the soil, grab the carrots you want. And so she reached into the soil and pulled out these carrots and had an experience that just changed her life.
Yeah, it is life-changing to finally get that experience. And especially carrots, you pull them out and they have the smell of carrots. And it's incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing. We then took that website, went to the Silicon Valley Business Competition in 2017, took first place.
Wow.
We beat out a little over 100 companies to do that. Went to South by Southwest in 2018 and beat over 500 companies to be selected as one of the top 15 most innovative companies in the world for agricultural supply chain innovation.
So cool.
And then went through the Mass Challenge Accelerator, which is also one of the top 15 according to Forbes in the world. It's kind of like a crash course MBA. And now we've launched mobile apps to make it as intuitive and easy as possible.
That's really great. So right now people can download it on the iOS store and also the Play Store for Android. If you're going to download it as a seller, go ahead and use my affiliate link, Nature's Always Right.
Yep.
And I'd like to offer to you guys that if you guys need any support with Vinder or the app, go ahead and send me a message. I'll help you guys set up your profile, or if you guys have questions about how to use certain features, I'm here to help you. So send me an email at steven@naturesalwaysright.com, or you can DM me on Instagram. I'd be happy to help you set up your Vinder account. So if people want to follow along more with Vinder's journey and kind of see what you guys have going on at all times, where can they follow you, like on social media?
Sure, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Vinder_app. And if you download the app, you can download it on iOS and Google. And if you're a seller, make sure to register with Steven's referral affiliate code, which is Nature's Always Right.
Perfect, thanks. And I'm going to put the links down to all of this information in the video description, so you guys can easily just click on it. I'll put even the links to where you can download the apps too if you're watching this on your phone. Cool, Sam. Well, thanks so much for coming out.
No problem.
And
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm really excited about this app and seeing where this is all going to go. Because I've just felt like we needed something like this for so long, something that makes it easier for small farmers and even slightly larger farms to have a system like this. So thank you for working so hard on this and making this available.
Thank you for being a farmer.
Yeah, oh, thank you.